Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the No Fire Podcast for episode 8. Thanks for tuning in once again. We've got some hard-hitting stuff to talk about today. We just finished up Meet Me at the Altar, Love is Blind Season 6, so definitely going to have to talk about that. We got a Reddit post to talk about for the relationship corner this week, so we got some stuff to talk about. I want to talk about Love is Blind first because we literally just finished the episode. So Clay and AD didn't get married, as we both predicted, and Johnny and Amy got married. And then Jimmy and Chelsea didn't even make it to the altar. So I think Jimmy and Chelsea not going to the altar is probably the best outcome with how emotional she is.
Yes, I agree. I just think that he kind of let her on in a sense. He's like picking out wedding songs with her. Like, if you knew in your mind at the end of the day that you weren't going to the altar with me, why put that false hope in my brain?
That's fair. I agree with that. But this is a different kind of a process. You're put in such a expedited type of relationship course to get marriage, like to get to being married, that you kind of have to just go along with the process and just make whatever decision you have to make. And maybe that's as early as he finally decided that he was like, okay, I can't go through with this.
We can't agree on a song. This isn't gonna work.
Well,
I'm kidding. I'm just being funny.
I just think that, I don't know, do you think it was better that they didn't go to the altar, or you think it would have been better for him to just follow through and then say no at the altar?
No, I agree. I didn't think that he should have gone to the altar. I just think that if he, like I said, had made up his mind already, like, just don't put her through that.
Well, maybe he hadn't made up his mind. Maybe like right then and there is when he like finally decided.
Yeah, you're right.
Maybe that was as early as he knew.
Yeah. Could be.
I mean, I don't think they would have worked out in the long run anyways.
I don't think so either.
They just, I think they were compatible in many ways, but I think that there was already like real issues in their relationship so early on that it just would have gotten worse.
Yeah, agreed.
What's so funny?
I was just going to say maybe he felt like it was false advertisement when he like got to meet her, you know what I mean?
The whole Megan Fox thing.
Yeah. I mean, she does favor Megan Fox. Like, she has similarities of like her facial structure. It's more of like this part. That's about it though.
The eyes.
It's like the eyes, the nose, like this.
I don't know. People have literally taken pictures and like overlapped them and they're like, see, look how similar she looks. And I'm like, I don't think so. So moving on to Clay and AD. I think them not getting married is probably the best outcome for their relationship as well. Because as much as I think Clay was being deceitful in the show, like, I don't feel like he truly showed his like true character. I feel like he was putting on an act a lot of the time.
Yeah.
To kind of appear more likable. I think him saying no was the right decision, not only for him, but for them together as a couple.
I agree, but I also stand by AD and not wanting to be with him after that.
Yeah, I think that's something that you two have to talk about beforehand. And obviously the show would cut all of that out, and I don't know if they like don't allow that or whatever the case is behind the scenes, but you would need to have that conversation like, hey, if we go to the altar, like I can't say yes because I'm not there 100%.
Then don't take me to the altar.
Right. Yeah. It's a TV show.
I know, but I'm getting pissed for the girls.
Yeah, I get it. I just
like, there, you see how much emotion's behind a wedding day. You see how the families are involved, and you know, it's a day of like bringing people together, and it's supposed to be beautiful and enjoyable and memorable, and like, don't bring me here to give me that only to snatch it away when we're supposed to say I do. And I know that it's a show and I know that I was invested, but like, I don't know. I don't think they should have gotten married. I agree with that. Like, I don't think that it would have worked. I think Clay would have cheated on her.
Well, regardless of what transpired, I think they ultimately made the right decision.
Yeah.
But moving on to our favorite couple, Johnny and Amy. They, of course, got married like we thought they would. And I think they're going to work out. I think their relationship is going to go well.
I think they're pretty solid. I mean, they seem to like, they work well. They like complement each other, which I love. I love them.
They have very similar personalities, very understanding and down to earth people. So I think that could be a successful relationship.
I agree.
Yeah.
I see that.
I am excited for when they do the show with everybody and it's all showing the clips of what people said and
the reunions,
all the juicy drama. Mm-hmm. Now that we're invested and watch the whole season, that's always fun to watch.
Yeah, I love going back and seeing that.
It's very cringy, but
totally worth it.
Yeah, it's still good. Is this the season with the least amount of people who went to the altar? Because there was only 2 this season.
Maybe.
I don't remember how many made it to the altar last time.
But it was more than this.
I think it was.
I feel like there were like 4 couples who made it to the altar last time.
Yeah. I mean, there's always a bunch who don't work out, but I think there's usually at least one who always gets married.
Yeah. That's... The concept of the show is just wild. Like, I mean, I get it. It's just, that's crazy. It's especially like in the world that we live in today. I feel like it's crazy for people to sign up for that.
Yeah, people are very, I was going to say materialistic, but
shallow.
Kind of in the aspect of like needing to see somebody.
Yeah, I mean, you heard Clay in the pods. He's like, I have a certain level of attraction that I need or something along those lines.
Yeah. I mean, I don't 100% disagree with him, though.
No, I mean, I guess I don't 100% disagree with him. It's just how he, like, said it. And it's like you're in a show that is supposed to do exactly the opposite thing of what you're doing right now.
Yeah, like, you signed up for that.
Yeah.
So.
Why?
Yeah. You knew what you're getting yourself into. Personally, I would never sign up for something like that.
Same.
Because, yeah, I don't know. I would just need to see the person.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah. Okay. Moving on. We can do the relationship corner now. So I have a Reddit Am I the Asshole to read, but before I do that, I wanted to, because the whole Love is Blind thing kind of sparked a little inspiration for this little portion of it. So, how long do you think it should take before you say I love you in a relationship?
I don't know. I mean, I feel like it's different for everyone.
I think it's different for everyone, but I think if you're genuinely looking for somebody to marry and be with for the rest of your life, I think it should be relatively quick.
Well, yeah, because you know, right? Isn't that?
Yeah, like if you're not telling your partner that you love them after like a couple months of dating them, I don't know if it's going to work out.
I agree with that. A couple months is like a fair window.
And I think you should know within the first couple weeks if you're really getting those feelings.
Yeah.
Obviously, it depends on how much time you're able to spend together. And if you're able to spend a very, very small amount of time together, maybe it would take longer.
Agreed.
But if you're spending day after day with somebody and you don't feel like you're falling in love with them relatively quickly, I don't know if I could see that working out.
Yeah. I mean, I agree. You know how we went when we started dating, so.
Yeah, things happen fast.
Yeah.
When you're just meant to be together, you're just meant to be together. And it all happens quickly.
It did happen very quickly. Go.
All right, so I'll read this Am I the Asshole from Reddit here. Let me pull it up.
Yay.
Am I the asshole for asking my boyfriend to sleep on the couch? I, 23 female, have lived with my boyfriend Jason, 26 male, for 6 months. I love Jason to bits and we rarely argue, so I'm not sure who is right here. Jason is a really bad snorer. Like, definitely has sleep apnea type snoring. I can hear it through the walls, and it makes sleeping incredibly difficult, which makes me sad, but I genuinely cannot fall asleep with him snoring next to me. The only times I get to sleep together is if I fall asleep before him. I've tried multiple remedies, none of which have worked. I've gotten earplugs, I can still hear it. I've tried using headphones, they're too bulky to sleep with or they fall out. I've blasted white noise, not loud enough. I've taken sleep medication, only works if he's not snoring yet. I've adjusted my schedule to try and go to bed before him. He wakes me up and climbs into bed. I've also asked if he could sleep on his side, which helps, but he inevitably rolls on his back and the snoring continues. I've grown super sleep deprived, which really affects my mental health and productivity, so I started moving to the couch when I can't sleep. This was fine for a while, and it even still is, but I asked Jason if he would be open to taking the couch sometime so that I can get some quality sleep, especially nights before I have a big day at work. I explained that I wake up much earlier than him for work, 7 a.m. versus 10 a.m., and I am frustrated that I'm left sleeplessness when he gets to sleep in much later. Jason was hurt and expressed that he didn't want the norm to be that we don't sleep in the same bed and doesn't want to make it a routine. He also expressed that it feels unfair to him to move to the couch because I'm the one who can't tolerate the snoring. He wants me to try to stay during the snoring so that I eventually get used to him, and I told him that it doesn't work like that, and it doesn't feel fair for me to sacrifice my sleep for it. He said it doesn't feel fair to kick him to the couch and or sleep separately because I can't get used to the snoring. We ended the discussion there because I could tell his feelings were hurt and I was growing irritated. I think taking turns sleeping on the couch is the best solution to be sure both of us get enough sleep to function. He thinks sleeping together and being able to spend quality time in bed is more important. Am I the asshole for suggesting this sleeping arrangement?
No, you are not, because I was irritated listening to that. I don't have to tell you this, I am incredibly irritable when I don't get enough sleep. And when things start catching up and my sleep deprivation catches up to me, I'm a wreck and I'm miserable. And like, you don't even want to like go about your day when you didn't get enough sleep that night. Like, it's working's miserable. Your days off are miserable. Your chore, doing anything is miserable when you are sleep deprived. So no, you are not the asshole.
Yeah, I think I'm on your side with this. I think it upsets me that he takes literally zero responsibility for having her not being able to sleep. Like, it is a little weird that she says that, like, as long as she falls asleep first, it's okay. So maybe like a scheduling type of thing where she goes to bed before he does. But he needs to solve this issue for her. It's his responsibility to figure it out. Just because she's not getting sleep doesn't mean it's her fault. It's his fault.
I mean, yeah,
that
he's
she's
the
not
one
getting sleep.
causing her not to sleep.
And obviously he's not doing it on purpose, but the fact that he's almost not acknowledging that it's his snoring that's causing the issue is a little ridiculous to me.
It's insane.
And the fact that he's not willing to occasionally sleep on the couch
He's not
before
willing to compromise.
a big day or a presentation that she has at work shows that he clearly doesn't really care very much.
Not to mention, he wants her to just suck it up and sleep next to her and sleep next to him and maybe get, a little bit of sleep so she can get used to it. Like, no, dude, I'm not going to get used to it. If I am sleep deprived, I'm going to continuously be sleep deprived until I catch up on that shit. And if this is an every night thing, I'm never going to catch up.
Yeah, it's definitely not fair. And he is not even remotely accommodating or recognizing his part in all of this, I feel like. And I would definitely say that she is not the asshole in this situation. Not even a little bit.
Agreed.
But I mean, if he genuinely has sleep apnea, the snoring is probably absurdly loud.
Oh, 100%.
And it probably sounds like he's choking and like trying to catch his breath, and
which is scary.
Yeah.
He should get that checked out.
Yeah, he should. Because he's probably not having restful sleep either.
Yeah, probably
because
not.
of the sleep apnea.
But if he's sleeping in longer, he probably doesn't even realize it. He's just getting the extra sleep to make up for it. Not being quality sleep.
Yeah, because if she's not falling asleep before him and he wakes up 3 hours later, so he's falling asleep first and waking up several hours later. So I'm sure that's frustrating already.
Yeah, for sure.
But yeah, I think we're on her side with that one.
Agreed.
Jason, my guy, you need to get a CPAP machine. So there's this guy, Dave Ramsey, that has like a talk show, podcast type of thing that he does, and he gives financial advice. And a lot of it is, I would say, sound financial advice for your typical mundane American family who wants to work for the next 40 years and then retire and have a modest retirement. His big thing that he's known for is called the snowball debt, whatever. Mm-hmm. Basically, you tackle all your debt, you pay everything off as fast as possible, you minimize your expenses. But what he basically preaches is to live like you're incredibly poor for the majority of your life so that you can retire and then kind of still live like you're poor so that you can have money.
That doesn't sound
that's
fun.
That's the problem that I have with it. You know, at one point in my life, especially when I was younger, I always thought, you know, you get a job, you work, you retire, and you're happy. Mm-hmm. That doesn't, just because you're able to retire or you have money in the bank, that doesn't equal happiness.
Agreed.
And especially if you're minimizing your budget to the level that he recommends, you would be hating your life for a long time. He's the type of guy that's like, get another job to pay that off, work more hours.
No.
And, well, Dave, what if you die at 45 and you just literally worked your entire life?
Yeah.
That's just seems like a terrible way to live for me. And don't get me wrong, I'm all about being financially responsible, saving money, being ready for things to happen, saving for retirement, all that stuff. I'm totally on board with that, and I agree with it. But I think should be a different outlook on the whole thing. If you got yourself into debt, yeah, you want to get out of debt. You don't want to always be in debt.
Yeah.
But you shouldn't have to literally work your life away in order to retire and live a modest retirement.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just have an issue with the whole idea of working until retirement age, which keeps increasing.
Yeah.
By the time we're at retirement age, they're going to push it back to like 80 years old. You're going to be working literally your entire life until you're just about to die and you're going to retire. I think there's definitely some exceptions to that rule. Say, for example, if you actually do enjoy your job. I think that's fine if you want to work most of your life at a job that you genuinely enjoy and you feel like is fulfilling to you, you're making an impact, whatever the case is, you're getting enjoyment out of it, then it's fine to do something you enjoy for the majority of your life and then retire from that. Yeah. But if you're having to work a job that you hate and you're not getting anything out of it other than future financial security, it just seems very disheartening to look at life like that.
It really does.
And I think that has really skewed the judgment of young people in society, even as old as like millennials, but especially getting younger and younger, the way that they look at things, because it's so apparent to them. Everything online, you can just see the way everything works, and they can see people living fantastical lifestyles, and they want that. And I think it ruins their work ethic, and it ruins the normalcy of working until you're about to die.
Yeah, I see that.
Makes young people a little lazy, though, if I'm being completely honest.
Yeah.
They just want things handed to them at this point.
Fuck, I want things handed to me, okay?
Oh, I want things handed to me, too. So I was thinking about RV life the other day. If we didn't have animals, I could see myself living in an RV.
Agreed.
And just traveling the United States, just driving around, finding places to stay, working for half a year, and then using that saved money to travel around and have experiences and just do fun stuff all the time.
Yep.
I think that would be pretty cool. So if I have any advice to young people out there, don't get animals when you're young. You're signing up for a responsibility that you don't realize is going to stick with you for a very, very long time.
Yep. Jackson's 12 now.
Yeah, I think animals are great. Obviously, we're animal lovers. We have 3 dogs and a cat, but there can be a burden on your lifestyle, your finances, everything. Obviously, we made that choice to get animals, so we put ourselves in that position. So reflecting on that, I just think that go out and do the things that you want to do. Like people tell you, when you don't have kids, you have the freedom to do the things you want. What I didn't realize is that animals can hold you back from that too,
Yeah.
especially because our animals are as close as I've ever had to a child, and we treat them as so. We're afraid to leave them with other people. We're afraid to go on vacation.
I have anxiety when I come home and one of them seems uncomfortable. Like,
Yeah.
oh, yeah.
It takes a bigger toll on your life than you would imagine.
Yeah.
Because if you are like a true animal lover, you will have those anxieties and those feelings towards your pets.
My babies.
And yeah, it just makes life just a little bit more difficult.
Indeed.
Yeah.
Traveling. We've done very little traveling since we've been together. Mind you, I had Jackson and Charlie and Kit Kat prior to us getting together. You had Ghost prior to us getting together. So it was kind of like, just decisions that we made when we were very young.
Yeah, it was just it was kind of a package deal, especially when you're getting in a relationship. That partner is bringing some sort of baggage. And sometimes that baggage can be sorted by the both of you, and sometimes the single partner has to deal with it. But when it comes to things like kids and animals and things of that nature, then it kind of becomes a joint thing to worry about. If your partner has a dog and you've been in a long-term relationship with that partner, that becomes your dog.
Yeah, 100%.
Like,
that's my dog.
If there's an issue with Jackson or Charlie, I'm not going to let them, just fend for themselves and you have to take care of them. I'm going to do what I can as their,
doggy dad.
Yeah, exactly. And take care of them and do what I can.
Yeah, like mommy giving Ghost a little grooming.
But yeah, if you're not ready to settle down, then don't get pets.
Yeah, for real.
Or maybe just like a cat or something, because they're very self-sufficient. And you can have somebody come over like once a day and clean out their little litter box and feed them. Dogs need attention, and a lot more goes into it.
Yep, sure does, especially when they're a husky.
Yeah, she's definitely, she is more than a handful, I'll be completely honest.
Not even that. Her fur. Like, her fur, in the beginning of our relationship, when we first moved in together, I was like, I have never experienced shedding like this. And I grew up with dogs. Obviously, I never grew up with a husky, so I didn't know the severity of their shedding.
Mm-hmm.
I had Boston Terriers, pit bulls, like, not huge dogs, but I mean, not small ones either. I mean, Boston Terriers are small, but the pitties that we had growing up, my stepdad had a lab, like, big dogs. That shedding is something I have never experienced before, ever.
Yeah, if you've never been around like a Malamute or a Husky or even like a Saint Bernard
or a Shepherd,
the shedding is a genuine problem.
Yeah.
And it's a task. If you've seen memes online of people vacuuming and then 1 hour later their floor being covered in hair, it's not just a meme. That is reality.
Yes, it is. And during shed season, when they lose their coat, which is twice a year.
So you were saying about how she loses 2 coats a year.
And it comes out in chunks.
Yeah. Like small dog chunks.
Yeah. And then the amount of hair that comes out when you brush her undercoat, which she doesn't like being brushed. She literally changes colors. She goes from predominantly white to being able to see all the black that's actually in her coat.
Yeah, she's got like a little orangey grayish thing going on, and
yeah,
she's
like
got like
on
a
her butt.
Black stripe. Have you heard of Malaysia Airlines Flight 370 before?
No.
So this is from a while ago, and for whatever reason, my algorithm keeps sending it my way. So Malaysia Airlines Flight 370 is an airline that departed from, I want to say, Beijing, China, and it had 227 passengers and 12 crew members. Once they departed, they disappeared to never be found again. Like no wreckage, no idea where they are. They assume in the ocean somewhere. And there's all these different conspiracy theories of what might have happened to it.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Some of them say that there were lithium batteries on the plane and they caught fire and they crashed in the ocean. But you would think that with all the GPS tracking equipment that they have nowadays, that they would be able to be like, okay, it's got to be in this radius. Like this is where it should be at. And they should be able to find
100%.
some sort of a wreckage there.
Don't like that.
So there's a list of different conspiracy theories. I'm going to go through each one real quick. Okay, so the first one on the list is a hijacking. So basically people take over the plane and then presumably crash it or steal it or something like that. But you would still think that that GPS tracking equipment would be able to tell you when it was disabled, what direction it was heading, what was going on. Like according to the flight plan of the airplane, it veered off a course, did like a little loop-de-loo, and then just poof, gone.
That's sketchy.
So as far as hijacking goes, I mean, I guess it's plausible that somebody took over the plane and I guess crash it.
Yeah.
Maybe as an act of terror. I don't really know. But yeah, I don't get hijacking in general. I just don't understand I guess maybe it's a religious type thing when you hijack it and then just kill a bunch of people.
Maybe. Is that a thing?
I mean, that's kind of what 9/11 was.
Yeah.
Murder a bunch of Americans so that they could go to heaven, basically, was like their belief for it. Next on the list is pilot suicide / mass murder.
That's interesting.
I feel like that's pretty plausible, though. Like,
yeah, but you don't think if the pilot killed everyone and then committed suicide?
well, no, okay. So here's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking that he crashed the plane in order to not only kill himself, but to kill everybody else. Maybe it wasn't specifically like, I want to kill all of these random people. It's a more so like he wanted to kill himself and didn't care who else he was bringing down with him.
That's a really selfish act, but okay.
Oh, incredibly selfish, yeah. But that's one of like the hypotheses. The next one is the murder I talked about, or the fire, not murder. The next one is the fire. So there's these lithium ion batteries in the plane, and they think it caught fire, and then the plane crashed. So here's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking the fire disabled whatever GPS tracking equipment, or maybe they noticed the fire. That's why they veered off of route, and they were trying to go back and land somewhere else. The smoke encapsulated the entire aircraft. They got disoriented. They all passed out, crashed in the ocean.
I mean, yeah, I can see that.
I feel like that's the most plausible.
Of all three thus far?
Thus far, yeah. The next one is kind of interesting. The next one is that they got shot down.
Okay.
Which there's like some other evidence that goes along with the shoot down theory. Because there was another plane that got shot down, and they think that they're like conflating the two and saying that one plane got shot down, but it was actually a different plane. So there's a lot of like things that would have to line up for that theory to be realistic. So the next one is a cyber attack. So basically like somebody hacked in and maybe took control of the plane. So almost like a virtual hijacking.
I feel like that makes the most sense to me, because then the tracking system that we were talking about, like, it would make sense on why they can't fucking find it anywhere.
Yeah, I mean, if somebody's that good in order to actually hack into the plane and control it in some way, then they would be able to disable the GPS and all that stuff.
And for it to just disappear, like you loop-de-loop, then gone, like that was some type of computer processing that like wiped them off of whatever they were tracking them with. Mm-hmm. That's my favorite.
My favorite is the physically improbable theories, and one of them is that they got sucked into a black hole.
Yeah, I do like that, but
like I do and I don't like it. Obviously that's like scary to think about, but it's just crazy.
Yeah.
And we just have all this science and the ability to do so many things with technology, you think they would be able to just pinpoint that thing and be like, this is exactly where it is.
Yeah. That's why it's sketchy.
Yeah, it just doesn't make sense to me that they... Like, don't we have satellites in space that would be able to be like, all right, let's rewind the tapes here and see where they're at?
Yeah. I don't know.
Because it's a plane. It's not like you're trying to find like a person. It's not that small.
Yeah,
Planes are
it's
fucking huge.
Plane.
Yeah.
I don't know. Black
Apparently
hole
the
is
satellites weren't in the right spot in space to see where it was at the time.
See, that sounds like a cover.
Which is our next one is claims of responsibility. So I don't know if this is specifically a Chinese plane, but I mean, governments are corrupt, and if they had something to do with the whole disappearance of the plane and they didn't want to take responsibility for, 250 people dying, they covered it up, which, I mean, wouldn't be the first time the government covered something up, so.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. But yeah, I don't know why the algorithm keeps bringing it back to me. Just maybe because I enjoy watching conspiracy theory type things.
Probably.
But it's one that's never been solved. And there's all these different theories floating around that they got abducted by aliens. They got sucked into a black hole. The government covered it up. Somebody hijacked the plane. So all these crazy different things that, have some legitimacy towards them because we have no idea. So anything could have happened.
Yeah.
It is pretty crazy, though. Is there anything that you wanted to talk about?
Besides my pollen allergies?
Yeah, what's up with pollen right now? Let me ask you, do you know what?
Nothing, go.
Do you know if pollen